Hey everyone, today I wanted to do a video talking to you about something that, while not directly firearms related, is something that I think every person who carries a firearm should have on you. In fact, this has been my constant companion for the last probably 4 or 5 months now. Literally every single day I've had this on my person if I'm not wearing shorts that allow me to, because I typically do wear shorts. Dress for the weather you want, not the weather you have. If it's not in my shorts, then I'll have it in a bag or something like that, readily accessible. And that is a medical kit from Zulu Medical. For those of you familiar with the Haas USMC, this is a medical supply company that he just recently started. So he's doing all this himself. Now, before this, I was carrying kind of like a homemade medic kit that I kind of put together myself. It was really a pain. It wasn't very size efficient, and the bag I used for it kept ripping open. And so when Ian showed me these, I frankly was really impressed, and I decided I had to have one. Now this is their Mark II kit. He is working on some revised versions of these that should hopefully be out by the end of the year. I'll talk about a little bit more about those at the end of the video, but I want to again focus on this one. So there's three main things that this kit comes with. As you may have already noticed, you do have a RATS tourniquet right here. Now, these are kind of a controversial thing, unfortunately, in the firearms community right now. There are some people who say that they absolutely don't work. However, I am of the opinion that they do work. I've used these a lot in Spartan Training Concepts classes. Pretty much every single class I've taken, you have to put one of these on multiple times in the class, and I can speak from experience that it does cut off circulation to the extremity that it's attached to. Is it ideal? Is it the best choice? Probably not. However, for a lot of those full-size tourniquets, the soft T tourniquets, the cat tourniquets, aren't always the easiest thing to throw in a pocket or anything like that, at least not in a size-efficient way. And that's where I think the RATS tourniquets come into play really well. Also, they come in at a much more affordable price than a lot of those, so it's really easy to get a bunch of these, have one for training that you can practice with, while keeping the other ones good to go in a pocket or in a kit like this, or even like attached to your sling or attached to your rifle somewhere. So you have that tourniquet. You have an airplane flying over. You have this right here, which is some flat compressed gauze. Now, this is one of the things that will be revised in one of the later kits, which again, I've been teasing a lot about those. I'll talk about later. But basically, this is just super compressed, flat folded gauze, which is great for packing a wound or anything else that you might want gauze for. Wrapping a wound if it's not a deep penetrating wound, it's good for that. And it's all sealed, so you have that nice sterile dressing. And I'm sure if you had to, because it is sealed, you could use the wrapper for it as a chest seal if you absolutely had to. Again, not ideal, but it is an option. And then the third thing that is included in this kit is a mini H bandage. Now, I'm sure most of you are familiar with H bandages. They are an extremely effective pressure bandage, and this is basically a sized down version. That's a really great thing. Now, this is going to be more suited for like extremities, like your arm and possibly your leg, depending on how fat your legs are. It's probably not going to be the best thing for anything abdominal, especially if you're a little bit more rotund, because it is obviously smaller than the full-size H bandage, but nonetheless, it's a good thing to have. Even if you do get an abdominal wound, it's better to have this than to have nothing at all. And that's really where I think this kit comes in really in handy. I'm sure a lot of you who have had medical training are looking at this saying, well, you don't have this, or you don't have this, or you don't have this. Yes, this is not a complete trauma kit. It's not intended to be a complete trauma kit. What this is intended to be is something that is very size efficient, that's very easy for you to have on you every single day. It's just like people who want to carry their giant double stack, Desert Eagle or whatever they want to carry. They say they carry it, but then when you actually call them on it, they're usually not carrying it because it's so inconvenient with those larger guns. Same thing with this. You may want to carry this plus a chest seal, plus a decompression needle, plus, everything else. But realistically, it's going to be hard for a lot of us to be able to fit that into our everyday carry system unless you have to carry a backpack, in which case that frees up a lot. However, this again is something realistically I can carry on me every single day, as I have been carrying on me every single day, very, very effectively. These also come in at a pretty reasonable price. I believe the retail on these is $39.99, which for what it comes with is really nice. Which one of the things that I've overlooked is the little pouch that it comes with. Now, it's not necessarily anything fancy, but it's very effective at what it is. It's basically just almost like a athletic band kind of thing, and it just holds everything nice and snug without making it to the point where it's hard to do this while talking, without getting it to the point where it's going to be impossible to pull it out of its pouch. And the nice thing too is it makes it very easy to put things back into place. That is an issue with some medical kits out there, where once you pull something out, it becomes a nightmare to try to get it back in its place. So again, this is what I've been carrying. I really, really like these. If you're interested in one of these, really the only ways to get a hold of them right now is to go through TJ Gun Sales up in McMinnville, Oregon. That's where the Haas USMC is working right now. So you can go in there and get them direct from them, or you can order them from Spartan Training Concepts. I believe online you can order them through there as well. Hopefully in the future, they'll have a dedicated website for Echo Zulu Medical where you can order through to purchase things, but currently those are the two best ways to get them, through TJ Gun Sales or Spartan Training Concepts. Now, like I said earlier, he is working on some revised kits for these. There's going to be so I have the Mark II. The Mark III is going to replace the flat compressed H&H gauze here with, I believe it's called X gauze. Basically, it's just regular gauze, but it has these little compartments that are going to expand once they hit with blood. So if you're packing a wound with it, it's going to help it fill that cavity by expanding once it starts soaking up that blood. So that's a really nice thing. I'm glad that that's going to be one of the changes here. Not that there's anything wrong with this flat compressed gauze, but if there is a better option, why not have it? And then he's going to have a Mark IV kit, which is going to have that X gauze and a Cat 7 tourniquet. So for those of you who want that full-size tourniquet, there will be a kit that fulfills those needs. Now, obviously, with those upgrades, there is going to be an increase in cost associated with that, but that's to be expected. One of the things that I'm most excited about that the Haas is working on as far as the medical kit is he's going to be working on a bump in the night kit. I don't want to say too much about it because obviously it's still in development, but believe me when I say it's a really cool idea, and I'm looking forward to when he does finally unveil those, because it's definitely going to be something that I'm going to have with me every single night when I go to bed. But and I think you'll think the same too when that does finally get released, which obviously I'll do a video at that point. Now, probably the only thing that I think you would want to supplement a kit like this with is probably a couple sets of gloves, which, because of the elasticity of this band here, it'd be really easy to get a couple sets of gloves, roll it up, and then slip it in here. And once you get them fully underneath here, they're not going to go anywhere, and it's going to keep it in place for when you do need gloves. But outside of that, this is really, a nice stripped down kit. Again, it's not all inclusive, or it's not the end all be all of medical kits. But again, that's not the intent. The intent is to have something that you're actually going to have with you when you need it. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and throw those in the comment section down below. If you're interested, again, check out TJ Gun Sales up in McMinnville, or go to Spartan Training Concepts website. If you have any recommendations, feel free to throw those in the comment section as well. If you have a medical kit that you like to carry, I'm always interested to see what my viewers are carrying with them. But bottom line is, carry something. If you carry a gun, you really need to have some sort of medical supplies, and more importantly, you need medical training. Spartan Training Concepts has an excellent medical course. I've done a video on it. I wasn't able to show too much of the fun stuff from that class because they want it to be a surprise for the students going through it, so you're really kind of experiencing things as they happen, and you have a more organic reaction to it. So I highly, highly recommend that class for, again, anyone who carries a gun. But with all that said, as always, I hope you're able to get something out of this video, and I really appreciate you watching.